I really enjoy looking at other people's luxury handbag collections, and I've got a whole bunch of mid-tier luxury handbags I've been collecting over the years, so I thought let's sit down and have a look at them today. I'm going to start off by going from less expensive to more expensive, maybe not in the order of the price that they were originally, but I bought a lot of these vintage and secondhand, and so I'll show them in the order that I paid money for them, from least expensive to most expensive. And I'll tell you a little bit about the provenance about these. I'm going to try and give US dollar figures because I'm converting back from Canadian. So if you don't know, Canadians have to pay usually a little bit more than Americans do because our currency is not as strong. So let's hop in. First, this is the biggest and best deal I ever got. This is a pure leather Coach bag that I thrifted from Salvation Army, and it was 20 Canadian dollars, so probably around 14 USD. Amazing. Coach is such a great brand. For those of you who just want to enter the luxury market but don't want to spend an absolute fortune, you can get them secondhand or vintage very often at great prices. You can sometimes pick them up thrifting. The quality on this matches the most expensive handbags that I own. It's just really, really nice. I think this style is from about the year 2008. Could be wrong. I've never done too much research into it. I just really appreciate the shape. I like the leather handles. I love the patina on it. And I love that it also has a detachable shoulder strap. It's just a nice smaller size purse. Yeah, best bargain I ever got. Love this one. I tend to use it more, not so much in the winter, but more in the summer months because I find the brown goes nicely with lighter colored summer outfits. So that's how I wear this one and style it up. Coach does a lot of canvas too, but this is the only Coach purse that I've ever owned, and I quite like it. I would purchase this brand again because I think that they offer good quality for the price. Next up, this was an interesting find. This is C by Chloe, which has since been discontinued. C by Chloe is the diffusion brand of the brand Chloe, and Chloe has all kinds of it girl handbags. But I purchased this because I was looking for just like a black over the shoulder type. Whoopsie, my bags are falling in the background. I was just looking for something black that you could wear in the winter, throw it over your shoulder while you're wearing a winter coat, so it needed to be big enough for that. And I saw it on Poshmark. This is a pure leather one that I paid, I'm gonna say around 80 US dollars for, and I like it, but the thing about me that I've discovered, or that I remembered after purchasing it, is that I don't love black purses. I don't know why. I just find them too plain and basic. But having said that, this has come in handy. So here's the interior. It's not too heavy, it's good quality. It's got these nice little elasticized pouches on the side, and I think overall I'm happy with the price I paid. My general philosophy for buying handbags or investing in secondhand and thrifted ones is I try and pick up ones that I can sell for what I paid for them, so it's not really a loss, and sometimes you could get more. I'm sure that for my Coach that I paid under $20 for, I could definitely get more if I wanted to sell that on, but I don't. I love that purse. I like this one too, but I would be willing to part with this on the secondhand market, and I may put it up on Poshmark again at some point. I just don't wear it that much, even though it's comfortable. It's nice. It holds a lot. It's a very practical, nice black leather handbag that looks expensive because it probably was quite expensive. My guess is the original retail price on this was probably around 500 US dollars, but it could be less. Maybe somewhere between the $400 and $500 mark because it's C by Chloe. If it was an actual Chloe bag, it would be maybe triple that amount. Yeah, but C by Chloe is no longer. They shuttered that diffusion brand maybe about a year and a half ago. And with them shuttering the brand, that doesn't actually tend to raise the prices on resale. It tends to actually lower them, in my experience. Okay, next up, one of my longtime favorites, the Pliages. These were all purchased new. I didn't buy them secondhand. One of them, let me show you guys. This is the large shoulder tote. Sorry that everything's a bit crumpled, you guys. I was debating on whether to fake stuff it with things to show you guys, and perhaps I should have done that, but this is what they look like when I'm looking at them in my closet or wherever. This is what they look like, so that's how I was going to show them as well. This one is actually made in France and came from France. My friend's mom brought a whole bunch of them over for us office ladies that were all working together at the time, and I don't know, she didn't smuggle, she brought over a whole bunch of them for each of us who are placing our orders because they are less expensive in France, definitely under 100 euros at the time, and I think at about the time USD probably about $130. I don't know if you guys know this, but if you blow out the corners of your Le Pliage bag, you're entitled to one free repair on these. You just take it to a Longchamp store and they will send it to their place where they do their repairs, and it will come back a little bit smaller. So it shrinks a little bit the base and shrinks the capacity a little bit as well. So I've done a full video on Le Pliage, all the ins and outs of what you need to know, some warnings about it. go ahead, I'll put that up at the end of this video, so watch that next if you're interested in Pliage, or maybe you have one as well and you're just wondering what's up these days with it. This is my older Pliage. Here's a more recent one, and I think graphite gray. Same style as the other one. This is just right now my everyday purse and has been for years. Despite having all these other purses, I love this light nylon tote. It just really suits my city lifestyle really, really well. This one was a birthday gift from my parents, so I don't know how much they paid, but I know Pliage were going for about maybe 120 US, 130 US dollars, I think, around the time that this was purchased. I love it very much. These Pliages, they have a reputation for being basic, but that doesn't mean they're not good. And also you can fold them up and travel with them. And I use this often for my carry-on when I'm taking flights as well. So it's just a great all-around bag that holds a lot. I will never not have a Pliage bag. I'm pretty sure that's like my bag for life. Also of the Pliage type, but not necessarily Pliage because it's not technically a folding one, but it's made of the same nylon material, was this sweet little makeup pouch purse thing that my brother bought me. And I'm just showing it as part of my purse collection because you can actually carry it around as a purse if you want. It holds a cell phone, it will hold your keys, a hotel key. It's like nice for when you don't want to carry a whole big bag. You just need to take a little thing out and you maybe want to walk around like that. And maybe when you're traveling, you just don't want to carry too much. But the handle and the lightness of it just actually make it quite practical as a little tiny handheld bag. I don't think this is that different from the nano bags that we see out there. And it's not too expensive either. Sometimes I carry my sunglasses in it as well, so I find it to be handy for that because I'm not one for the hard shell sunglass case. Look at the stitching, it's so good on the top. All the Longchamp bags have really, really nice stitching. And an interesting thing about them is each of them inside will tell you what country they were made in. So my purple one was from France, my gray one was Tunisia, and this one, I can't remember. This one was made in China. It says that there's like a little label here. Inside your Pliage, have a look yourself and you'll see. So they have a few different countries they make them in. Okay, this is a bag that when I saw it, I had to have it. And I went down a big rabbit hole of trying to find one on the resale market because it wasn't a style that was getting made anymore by Mulberry. So Mulberry is a British brand, an English London-based brand, I believe. They do most of their craftsmanship in London. And there were a few versions of these that were big time it girl bags, maybe 15 years ago. This was not one of the styles, but I'll put a picture up of the one that was huge and is apparently the most copied Mulberry bag or most copied bag maybe of all time. I think I read that statistic, which kind of blows my mind. But this is indeed a real Mulberry. I purchased it secondhand off someone off Poshmark, and I want to say it was about 240 US dollars that I paid, but it was in impeccable condition. In fact, a few spots still had the plastic wrapping on it, like in here. The person who owned it obviously did not like the bag very much, so she took off most of the plastic, like around this plate here, but there were little parts like this little pretend padlock. This is just for decoration. Yeah, you see that opens, it doesn't have a real lock in it. This still had this plastic around it. And I can't remember how I verified that this was a real Mulberry, but there's a way to do that. Oh yeah, I think it has a tag inside. And if I recall, you can flip up this tag and then there's a serial number. Sorry guys, I'm contorting to try and show this to you. So inside this tag, there's a serial number, and the serial number, the way that it's engraved has to look a certain way. And when you flip it, it's actually towards you. Like, I don't know, I'm not describing it well, but if you do buy a Mulberry, definitely verify. Just research it online. They'll tell you how to verify your Mulberry bags. The thing that I really liked about this though, and the reason I kind of had to have it was, and I didn't care about the color, like this is oxblood. I would have accepted it in gray or any other color. I wasn't like fixated on that. Although it matches my Lacoste jacket quite nicely. This is an older vintage blazer of mine. A lot of things I bought when they were not, like, they're just old now, so they're technically vintage, but I'd bought them new, like this jacket. But anyway, this is what this one does that I think is so cool. One strand of hair that keeps poking in my mouth. Pardon me that I keep moving my hair back, but it keeps entering my mouth. Okay, what I love about this is that it has this detachable evening purse. Isn't that kind of great? So you can walk around with it just like that and detach this if you want. And this is not real alligator. It's just like an imprinted embossed leather, so have no fear, it's not an exotic skin. Okay, so this is just like a little envelope and you can just carry this around with you if you want to do that. So I think that that's kind of cool. So when I saw that, I'm like, oh, I really want that. I like that. And the original price was, I think, $1,200. So obviously I got it for just a fraction of that, and it was barely used at all. So yeah, Poshmark has been a great source for me to source vintage bags. I'd be hesitant to buy a Chanel or a Louis Vuitton, even though they do check them. I don't know, but I feel like these mid-tier luxury brands are okay to buy on Poshmark. The stakes are a lot lower anyway. Yeah, I really, really like this. I love Mulberry's tree. They use this tree insignia logo thing. Okay, I've inserted it back here, and you just pull these back up to zipper that back in, so that's kind of cool. It's got a detachable strap. Really fabulous condition. I've got this wet, nothing happened to it. And another pro about this bag that I like is that it's just everything is easy to access when you're carrying it, especially if you're wearing it in a crossbody. You just stick your hand in there. It's very easy to get your phone out or whatever. Because the problem with the Longchamp Pliage and the other bag I'm going to show you is that you have to rumble around a lot in those because they're like a black hole and everything sinks to the bottom. That never happens with this. It's really easy to locate things, and it's just like nicely got some nice pocket dividers and stuff like that as well. The downside though is that it doesn't close with a zipper. It's just got the clasp. So sometimes you can feel a little vulnerable. Sometimes that things can just fall out, or, well, of course, pickpockets are always a slight concern. Okay, last but certainly not least, and I will have a full-length video about understanding the Louis Vuitton Speedy 25, because this is a very maligned purse. People buy it for the wrong reasons, and then they're not happy with it, but they never bought it for the right purpose and what it was made for, which is that it's a little mini duffel bag. So I go into that as well in another video. I'm sure you can, maybe you've seen that one already, or you can navigate around and find that one. This is my beloved Speedy 25. My husband bought it for me when I turned 29, and I will admit, sometimes it goes into storage for a few months, sometimes even more. I just kind of forget about it because it doesn't play that practically into my day-to-day life. But I have discovered that it's a great taking with you bag. Like if you're gonna go visit somebody or you're doing a bit of traveling, it's great for like actually holding light clothes. You can put a cashmere sweater, you can put a book in here. Great for like train travel, airplane travel, going to stay at somebody's house. It just sits rather nicely. And again, it's very light, so you can pack clothes in there. It's just, I think, a duffel bag, and people think it's supposed to be like a handbag that you go in and out of all day, and it's kind of not really for that. So go ahead and watch that video if you want to learn more about this. This is authentic. We bought it at Louis Vuitton inside a department store here in Toronto. 640 Canadian dollars was the price at the time, and that's going to be in the 500s. I don't exactly know what that would be in US dollars. That's just too much calculations for me to do off the top of my head, but I'll put the number of what that would be in USD here. It doesn't cost that anymore. It costs multiples of that, a multiple at least of that now. It's much more expensive since then. But I'm really glad to own this one. I think it actually looks nice, not so much with outfits like this, but with a more sporty looking outfit. Like if I'm wearing black jeans, a whole black outfit, black docs as well, I think it looks really cute with that. This is my most treasured handbag possession because it also has that sentimental value for me, because it was a big splurge for us. Like 640 Canadian dollars was a huge amount of money back then. It still is. It still is absolutely crazy amount of money to pay for a purse, but my husband wanted to treat me for my 29th birthday at the time. And so he did, and I continue to enjoy this purse, and I have no intention of ever selling this. Probably just pass it down when the time comes. Well, I hope that you enjoyed that. I hope I showed you that you can get these mid-tier luxury brands for not too much money, especially if you're willing to go thrifting for them, or you're willing to really comb through Poshmark. You can get a lot of things that were over $1,000 at a fraction of that. With some exceptions, of course, like my Louis Vuitton, that was expensive. But the rest, none of them would have been over like 250 US dollars. And I love them all. I've had them for years. None of these are brand new to what I own. I have everything I need right now, so I haven't purchased in a very long time. I have no intention of buying anything else. I feel like I've got something for all my different needs, from small to large. If you enjoy that, please do consider dropping me a like to show your support for this video, or subscribing if you want to see more like this. This kind of helps me know if this is something you're interested in. I can always tell if a lot of people have subscribed to a video. And please do leave a comment below letting me know what your purse is like right now. What are you carrying today? I am going to be carrying today, as I said, my gray graphite colored Longchamp, because it's basically part of my arm at this point in my life. The other ones I take out more for other occasions. And it's also a rainy day here. I'm going to be picking up a few things, running some errands. So the Longchamp Le Pliage it is. All right, I'm going to leave it off there. Thanks so much, and we will catch you on the next video.